invited me to go to a Trampled by Turtles concert, and you bet your biscuits, whoops, I'm gonna go. So, I was up in Bigfork, which is up here in Minnesota. Oh, here we go, great. So, we're gonna drive from Bigfork through the little town of Bigfork down to Marcel, which I think is kind of like up here. Continue our drive, we'll stop in Swan River, and then continue our way down to the south side of Duluth. Although I think we end up going here, kind of on the south side. Anyway, this is the first trip I am recording, and I had microphone failures, I had a dirty windshield I couldn't keep clean, I have mediocre footage, but you know what? I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to put this whole thing together and send it. If no one watches it, that's okay. It's good practice for me. Dogs, check. Food, water, meds for the dogs, check. Backing up the farm. Okay, driving. Get my driving hat. Keep the sun out of my eye holes. Here we go. Let's go. All right, we're going to take Highway 38 southbound. Welcome to Bigfork, Minnesota. Here we have Bigfork Hardware. We frequently call it Holy Hardware because it used to be a church. At least that's what locals call it. This is the Bigfork River. There's two rivers that meet here. Not surprisingly, it's a big fork in the river. Rolling up, we have a Two Rivers Convenience. Looks like it used to be a Cenex by the color. Little body shop. Oh no, camera. Camera, don't drift on me. There we go, tight little turn. And here we are, Main Street. No stop signs, no anything. So we got this cute little log furniture place, a bank, building, insurance building. Looks like a small engine shop, a post office, a dental clinic, park and recreation, electric co-op. Park and rec is like a cute little burger ice cream place, hair salon, community center, internet service provider, bar and grill, gift store, dog groomer, pizza parlor, used auto shop. It's a cute little town. Laundromat, private laundromat now. Some housing, ice skating rink, fire rescue. This place used to be a auto supply place. It's gone. Little family grocer and Dollar General. Gotta have that. All right, so let's switch. All right, so let's talk about the foliage because I didn't have my microphone on the first time. Womp, womp, womp. Also, there's supposedly super good off-highway vehicle roads like snowmobile and four-wheeler trails. That's one of those crossing the road right here. It'd be fun to do one of those. I've done a lot of mountain biking. I've done like no four-wheeling outside of like choring on a farm. And I've done a little, like very little snowmobiling. Okay, on our left is... Oh my gosh. So while we're on Highway 38, I'm going to try to tell you about the plants up here again because it's kind of a cool spot. I grew up in Michigan. There are a lot more conifers in Michigan up north. You get a lot more maples, not as heavy in the oaks. So up here, it's a little colder than you get in Michigan, actually a lot colder. But we have a lot of varying topography in Minnesota. We are going north, no, we're going south, but we're going uphill towards the Laurentian Divide, which is a continental divide that we don't really talk about, but one side of the divide, the watershed flows to the Mississippi, and the other side, it flows to Lake Superior, I think. I gotta look at a map. Should know this one. But one of the cool things about this road is it's a scenic highway, so you get lots of these tight turns that are a ton of fun to drive. You don't need to go fast. You don't really have great lines of sight on this road, so someone who grew up with, let's just say a family member who is good at aggressive driving and competitive driving. My dad taught Audi and Porsche track driving. You never want to outdrive your sight lines. Like for that, there's just a piece of pine tree in the road. All right, so plants up here. That the logging groups up here tend to be fast growing poplar, kind of aspen. It's like this hybrid poplar forest stuff that just grows back really fast. They can cut it. A year later, it's almost as tall as I am. A year after that, it like doubles in size every year. So I think they can harvest it every like 7 to 10 years. Or maybe 7 years. I think 7 years after they harvest it is when the grouse really like to get in there. A lot of bird hunting up here. for grouse. You got to go further west for the pheasants, or south for the pheasants. We're up into the Chippewa National Forest, beautiful forest. I got to see some Chippewa National Forest bears, little black bears. They tend to be smaller bears because there's just less land in the Chippewa National Valley to support them, which sounds weird. It's a huge national forest, but of all the national forests, if you take into account the roads, the swamps, and the lakes, there's less land area, like habitatable land. Don't know if habitatable is the word. There's less land available for the black bears to forage on. So the bears are a little bit smaller, a little bit more wiry. So at first I thought just, the bears weren't as healthy as other bears I'd seen, but it's because of the habitat, which I thought was kind of cool. They adapted to a slightly smaller bodied bear. The park rangers also call it the Chip. Chippewa National Forest, the Chip. So that's pretty cool. Nice forest. Oh, back to trees. So we got a pretty good variety of pine and pine-like trees. So we have tamaracks, which is the deciduous pine tree, so it loses its needles in the winter. Apparently, they're called lurch or larch out east. They're used, or were used frequently in boat building, where the tree meets the root, that kind of curve there. They would like to make the breast hooks for the boats out of that. Anywhere in the boat there's a 90-degree angle, they really liked using larch for that. Very tough, very rot resistant. I mean, they grow in a swamp usually. And so, for example, where the piece of wood that you would attach the rib coming up on the hull, attach the rib to the deck. So that right angle there, larch is a great piece of wood to use there. The beeping is my car telling me it doesn't know where the side of the road is. That's okay, car, I'll drive. It's just beautiful. Okay, so we got larch, apparently, or tamarack as we call them in the Midwest. Apparently, there's a pharmaceutical application to them. They actually have a pretty high sale value, relative to board foot or by weight compared to other trees. We got your red and white pines, which are a fairly, I wonder if I can turn off the dinging. It's kind of annoying. There we go. We've got your red and white pines, which are your typical pine tree with the clustered needle. Red has 3 needles in the cluster. I remember that, so R-E-D, 3 letters, 3 needles. And then white has 5, W-H-I-T-E, same as the number of letters, same as the number of needles in the cluster, so that's pretty cool. Easy way to remember that. We have a bunch of different maples, silver, sugar. Nope, it's still dinging at me. What are you doing, car? Maple, silver, Norway, I don't think that's native. Pretty tree though. We also have a ton of different oak, bur oak, pin oak, white oak, maybe red oak? I actually don't know my oaks that well. We have tons of elm trees, which could be a problem with the emerald ash borer. We have ash trees. We have elm trees and ash trees. Ash is an issue with the beetle that can destroy them. We would have chestnuts if it weren't for the chestnut blight. They're in the oak family. We have hazelnuts, tons of different berries, choke cherries, gooseberries, elderberries. Those are all wild. Fun Elliott trivia. This is the only road I've ever gotten car sick on, which is really saying something, because I was in the back of my friend's Suburban. I was trying to read a book as we were just like bombing down this road, and I got kind of nauseous. Usually I don't get nauseous. The worst road I've ever been on was driving north from Chiang Mai, Thailand, north to Chiang Rai. Or no, it was going even further north. So from Chiang Rai to the Burma-Myanmar border, we were driving up these mountains and they were like switchbacks, and we were on a bus and there were tons of potholes, and I was so tired. Kind of wedged myself in a corner and tried to sleep. But that was definitely the worst road I've ever been on. It was, mostly paved. It was mostly a road. But the switchbacks up the mountain were just wild. Okay. Car in front of me is going about 10 under the speed limit, but we're not in a rush. Do-do-do-do-do-do. The drive was getting long, but I knew what I was driving for. Highway 38 southbound out of Marcel. And yeah, I can't believe my whole talk with About all the plants wasn't mic'd. That's okay. Live and learn. God, it's beautiful here. I might have a mini hay binder I can run over here in this field. Would it be worth it? No, wouldn't be worth it. All right, here we go. All right, a lot of my friends are traveling this weekend, so I might have a place to stay, I might not. So either I will head home scoobity-doobity very late, or I might sleep in the car, or I'll catch up with a friend. So it's nice to have that kind of flexibility. Although the perk of sleeping in a car is I could go hiking in the morning. Here we go, back on Highway 38, southbound through Marcel. Marcel is a very small town, cute little thing. Actually, decent gas station and bait shop here. You can tell who's local and not local on this road, because if you're local, you can pretty much run this whole road without using your brakes. The car in front of me is hitting their brakes quite a bit. So my guess is they're from out of town. Welcome, welcome. But if you run your brakes like that on all these turns, they're not going to last as long as they normally would. Not saying you need to drive reckless, but if you know where the turns are, right? So here we are, entering an uphill turn. Kind of ease off the accelerator. The weight of the car shifts just fine. Didn't need to touch the brakes. This road is a different animal in the winter, though. Holy cow. Depending on the condition of the road, I might choose to drive a different road entirely. I have this road pretty much memorized, and still it's a trick in the winter. It is a scenic highway. Highway 38 is scenic highway. So because of that, there's no guardrails. That North Star Lake we passed a little bit ago, there's some pretty steep cliffs. I got a buddy who runs a couple friends actually on the ambulance service. And the amount of cars that have not gone over that ledge is pretty incredible. Just because you look at it and you think, this thing's got to eat cars right on this corner. All right, 4th of July truck. Oh, Canada. Canadian plates flying a thin blue line flag. Go Mounties? Not sure what that means. I don't remember the Mounties being blue either. The Mounties are the Mounted Canadian Police. Ooh, look at this. Okay, so we must have had pretty high winds last night. I slept through it. Well, I made it to the Swan River gas station, but my GoPro got too hot and gave up on life. So, I wish it like warned you, like gave a little beep or something. It was actually really hot to the touch. I was sitting in the dash, but hopefully the temp will be cooler now that the sun's higher in the sky. Otherwise, I got some ideas on how I can modify this. But we're gonna run from Swan River here at the Lucky 7 General Store. We're gonna run to the southwest side of Duluth. And yeah, so my narration is not gonna line up, but that's okay. We're learning. First trip. Got about an hour and change left. Yeah, I got my reusable coffee cup. Finally remembered to bring that. And yeah, it's 80 degrees and like 100% humidity. So it's gonna rain later. Anyway, we'll try the camera again and just roll, see what it looks like. Now the sun's coming up. It is beautiful. Let me actually, I wonder if I switch this. I wonder if I can run my defroster on cold, because that's gonna blow cold air. Yeah, that's gonna blow cold air over my GoPro. So it's gonna be noisier, but we'll run that. We'll try that. Cheryl's got a lot to talk about. So I call the car Cheryl. because Cheryl Lipinski, whatever it was. So Charlie Burns comedy sketch, the Midwest series.
Cheryl Lazinski, how did you get into here? You left the door open.
Oh, did you need me, dear?
Hey, Cheryl.
I think one, it's hilarious. So if you're from the Midwest, you'll probably like that. And two, my car just feels like a backseat driver. It's always telling me what to do. It's dinging and donging. When I first got it, it would like nudge the wheel if it thought I was leaving the lane, but it was pretty aggressive with it, and they've turned it down. I don't know what the update was or whatever, because it was really bad in the winter, and it was really bad in the winter when I was trying to exit. It would try and nudge me back into the lane on the expressway, or if there was an exit on the expressway and I was trying to not take it, it would follow the right side of the road and like nudge me that way, which also terrifying. So luckily they turned that down. Because this car is 5-6 years old now. It's been a good car. Got fresh tires. Falcon Acclimates, I think. It's spelled weird. But it's been a really good tire. I have driven through some snowstorms with it. Hit some dry sand, wet gravel. They've been just fine. I haven't done winter with them yet, but they're running pretty good. Keep seeing those little barrel saunas all over. I've built a sauna. I have some friends who've made their own like log cabin style saunas. The Finnish pronounce them sauna. The joke is if you say sauna, you're not going to be invited back. But if you say sauna, you'll be invited back. I haven't had a problem, no matter what. I always remember this turn too. Everything else is pretty north-south, but this one gives you a good jog east-west. And there's something about how it's shaded by these trees where there tends to be some black ice right there in that little corner. Ooh, here we go. Is that a willow? It's a beautiful tree. Yep, big willow. Shout out to my friend Ryan, who is as much of a plant geek as I am, and he knows way more southern trees than I do. So I got a lot to learn. It's fun trying to guess them from a distance. The basswoods are pretty easy to spot this time of year. Despite my poor camera work, poor audio work, and mediocre storytelling, I did make it to the concert. So that's what this is. The very next day, I made it to the park. All right, move. Come on, little grouse. Come on, little grouse. Move. I will honk. Grouse. You dork. Move. There he goes. Shoot. One of my arts and crafts things is videos, doing like little videos of trips and stuff. So cool.
Also, I haven't seen any milkweed
I have my ecology professor. Maybe a fish roll or something. Where's the jet? There you go, buddy. I wanted to see you run. You were so cute. Come on. Okay. So the way back, we drove out of... Me? I'm by myself. And you're here. Okay, so we drove out of Morgan Park, which is southwest of Duluth, and it was really a cool part of town. There are some very old buildings there that were over 100 years old and made out of steel and cement with just a little bit of wood, instead of mostly wood with just a little bit of steel and cement. And it was like a fun architectural tour. So that was great. The ride home, I'm not going to talk a lot. I think we can just enjoy the scenery as we rock through here. Okay, so now we're heading towards Highway 2. Now we're on Highway 2, heading first through Floodwood, then Swan River. My defrost the GoPro method worked really well for keeping it cool. I gotta mount it outside my car though next time so the dirty glass isn't so obvious. Here we are in Floodwood, and now we're out. Back to the Swan River gas station. I left the GoPro on, so I got this funny footage of me walking in and out. And then we blasted towards Grand Rapids. This time I caught the GoPro dying, so I pulled over right away, put a new battery in, and started rolling. Here we are, finally back through Grand Rapids. Now we're back heading north on Highway 38. Tamlin, you mad at me because I was gone for one night? Are we cool? I see how